Welcome to Talk Sporty to Me, a Sports with Aliyah talk show. Today's guest is such a track stud. She is also a good friend of mine, but I'm so excited to have her on the show today. I'd like to welcome Rebekah Topham. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And I wanted to have you on the show because for many reasons. Obviously we have classes together and we know each other really well, but you are just such an incredible athlete, and Wichita State is so lucky to have you. You just won Collegiate Female Athlete of the Year. You were an NCAA All-American, which is a huge deal. And you set a record for WSU, so can you just talk about this season that you just had?
Yeah, it was an amazing season, and I'm just so blessed, and just amazing support from my teammates, coaches, and just so thankful to be here at Wichita State.
And can you just let everyone know what events you do and what you participate in?
Yeah, I do anywhere from the 800 up to the 5K. My main events are more like the steeplechase, and I would say the 1,500 mile, depending if it's indoor or outdoor. Mm-hmm. But I think the steeplechase is my main event. So.
And isn't that the one that you set the AAC record in and everything like that?
Yep, it was the conference all-time record, and then I think I got the stadium record at conference too, and. Wow. Yeah, a few different records.
That's great. It's too hard to keep up with because you're just so good, and I really admire you and your ability to not just do well in track, but you keep a very positive mindset, and you're very dedicated and hardworking. And where does that mindset come from? How do you stay so dedicated and focused, especially with other things like school going on or just anything like that?
I think it's mostly just because I really, really love running, and so I always want to do my best, and so I want to do everything so I can perform my best on the track, and I think that's what keeps me going. So.
Oh, I love that. So we're just gonna kind of go into a little bit of history of your time here at Wichita State. Okay. So what made you choose Wichita State in the first place?
So there was a few different reasons actually. One, I was actually from here. I was actually born here, grew up a few years here, so I have a lot of family around here on my dad's side. So I was like, okay, that'd be cool, have some of my family around here for the support and everything. Another thing was I really liked how Coach Hunter coached and everything. It was kind of similar to my dad, and my dad always coached me before, so I really like how he did the program, and Wichita State has a great program for track and cross country. So
definitely.
So there was several different things, but those are the main ones. So.
Oh, well, I'm glad you came here. And then a sport management student.
Yep.
So what's your favorite part about studying sport management then?
So when I first came here, I was actually undecided. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. I took the intro to sport management, and I'm like, hey, this is really fun. I love sports, and I was like, this is something that's actually interesting in school. So I changed my major to sport management, and I think it's just interesting to me, sport management, just because it's something that I'm actually passionate about, where those gen ed classes or other classes, it's just okay, I'm just taking these just to take them, but sport management I actually find really interesting. So.
Yeah. And that's how we first actually became friends, is that we did group projects together. Yeah. I think we've done so many group projects together. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
I remember I was like, I want to be in the group with you because I feel like you're so smart and you know what you're doing. And I was like, yes. And then when we were in the group together, I was like, yes, this is good. Everything will be good. We're going to get a good grade.
We took control, and we're like, we are in charge. Everyone else will tell you what to do. But I love how we took control of the group. We're just this is what you guys are doing, and this is what we are doing. So I'm glad that's how we became friends, and that we got to know each other. So now that we have the whole why you chose Wichita State and the schooling part down, just walk me through your career so far at Wichita State. Did you start doing the same events, or when did you really find your niche on the track and cross country team?
So when I first started my freshman year, that was totally new for me, starting the steeplechase, because I've never done that before. In high school, I did the 400 hurdles, and I was a distance runner. So people were like, okay, so you're gonna do the steeplechase because you're a distance runner, and that's a distance event. So I started that, and I really struggled with it. freshman and sophomore year. Like, I couldn't get the whole water jump thing down, and I was like landing 2 feet, and I was like, how do people do this? And I was so frustrated, and my coach is like, are you sure you want to keep doing this? And I'm like, yes, like I want to do this. It's just like I gotta figure this out. And so that was like a struggle for a few years, and then when I redshirted, I finally learned how to like actually land with 1 foot in a race. So that was like a big step. And then like obviously this year, I improved a lot with the water jump pot, but yeah, I feel like as I've been here, I've just kept developing over the years and getting better and faster, stronger, and everything. I mean, I've had my struggles, but for the most part, I've been slowly improving. So
good. And how did that redshirt year kind of transform you as an athlete, both mentally and physically? I know a redshirt year can work wonders for people. So how did that help you taking that year?
I think that's exactly why I took it. Like, I took it just to like really build my mileage, really like improve and everything. And I think it turned out to be really good. Like, I got my mileage up higher, which I really struggle with mileage because I'm like a low mileage person. So, so I got that up higher, raced less so I could like focus on that. But I also still traveled to like Portland, Washington just to get some good races in and everything. And then I set PRs at those. So that was nice and everything. But I think that year really helped a lot. So
yeah. And I know that you've dealt with low iron. Can you just kind of talk about how that has affected you as an athlete? Because track takes a toll on your body. And so having low iron is just something that I can't even imagine what you went through. So what was that process like, working with that and through that?
Yeah, so last cross country season actually was like the biggest struggle with that, and it was just like mentally and physically like exhausting. Like it's just like a struggle to like try to run fast when your legs like weigh 100 pounds, like feel like they weigh 100 pounds, and like and it was just a struggle because I just couldn't figure out why I was having it. I couldn't get my iron levels up, and like especially during cross country, because like you're running longer stuff, so low iron affects you more the longer the race. So it was just all like so rough, and I just remember like crying so much and being so frustrated. But like as track came, things started slowly getting better, and I think just because it was like shorter races and stuff, but my iron levels did go up a little tiny bit, so that helped. But like it was a struggle, just like learning to be really, really patient, because I was like, I need this fixed right now, but I'm like, God has a plan. Like I just need to like breathe and just like be patient about it. But
so was that something that, you know, trusting God's plan, not the Drake song, but you know, but is that what got you through it? Like, what did you, I can't even imagine what that would be like. So what did you tell yourself, like your daily routine? What did you just like remind yourself like to just keep you focused, and how did you get through that mentally?
I don't know how I got through it mentally because I was a disaster, but like I think just like trusting God. I think the biggest thing is like my senior year of high school, I really struggled with health problems then, and like that was like really, really rough too. And I think knowing that I came back after that and still had good races and still performed and got back to myself eventually just gave me hope, because like when you're going through stuff like that and you like feel awful and everything, it's just like I'm never going to be fast again, like this is awful, I'm so slow, like I just like all those negative thoughts. But then I just remember how I went through it before and how I came out of it, so I'm like, just stay positive, try to stay positive.
I love that. And then track is a very interesting sport because there's a lot of personal, you know, individual events and accomplishments, but then you're working for the entire team. So what is that like? Because I've only ever really done team sports. I did rowing for a little bit and race singles, but how was that like to have a whole team, but also you want to succeed, but you also want to help the team? So what is that like to have to focus on yourself and also on a team? Yeah,
I think track and cross country are very unique sports because it's like individual oriented kind of, but it's also kind of team oriented, just depending the meet and everything. But I think the thing is you just always want to do the best that you can just to help the team out. And like, I mean, obviously the better you do, the more you help the team. So I mean, especially at like meets like conference, like when the team points really matter is when like it's like you gotta do this for the team, like
And speaking of like conference tournaments and things, how was it hosting the American Athletic Conference Championships?
Oh yeah, that was so great. Like I hate traveling. Like
Yeah.
I love like being in new places, but I don't like the physically traveling there type thing. So it was really nice like having conference at home because it's like no traveling, you can sleep in your own bed. You just like be there and just like
it was during finals week too, which is the craziest part.
I know, it's always like that. Oh my goodness. So that helped too, having it at home since it was during finals, because it's not like you have to do all your finals like a week in advance like you would if we had to travel. But yeah, it was really nice having it at home. It was like really fun, like just being right there and not having to worry about like traveling.
Yeah, for sure. And on that subject of still being in class, having a workload, how do you balance that whole student athlete but the student comes first type of deal?
Yeah, it's like really hard sometimes. Like I think I really like it was much harder like my freshman sophomore year just because I wasn't like as used to it, and my workload was also harder like school wise. So but like because those years like academically, I mean like I got good grades, but like it was a struggle. Like I like just don't have much time, and like I mean I'm sure you know that with everything you have going on. Like I think like the main thing though is like just to like I mean I think the hardest part is like you know like sometimes you have to stay up late to get this assignment done or do this or finish all this homework and everything, and you know you should be in bed like resting so you can perform good, but it's just like I don't know, I get really stressed with school, so I'm like I'm like, all right, just do the best you can. Like I'm a perfectionist too with school, so I'm like trying to do it perfect, and then at a certain point I'm always like I don't even care anymore. Like I'm just gonna wing this, and then I still get a good grade, so I'm like, why was I ever stressed? But I feel like sport management is like once I got into the sport management classes instead of the gen eds, it came easier, and like because I enjoyed it, and also like they don't like kill you with all the homework. So that made it good.
Now the good thing about sport management, like whether it's with a sports internship or a job like I have, or being an actual athlete, since we're sports management, when it's sports related, they're very easy to work with. So that has been a blessing. So as a student athlete, sport management student, what does a day in the life look like between practice, workouts, and school?
Yeah, so I mostly, depending on the day, but usually practice in the morning and then go to classes. In the past I've had like tutors, so those would be like after classes, before classes, all in between there. And then go to practice again in the afternoon. And then some days we have weights after that, and
Study hall.
Yep, study hall the first few years. Thank God I don't have that now. But then you just go home, you eat, and then do a lot of homework, and then I mean there's not like a lot of free time. I mean I have more free time now than I used to. Like freshman, sophomore year, I'd be on campus like 15 hours a day or whatever, and it was like what am I doing? Like it was like I need free time to like go hang out with my friends or like do something like besides homework. Like because I would always like look forward to like running every day, because it was like where I like feel free, because like all the other parts of the day I'm just like doing homework or tutors or classes or something academic, and I'm like I need a break. So
well, speaking of running, I love seeing how passionate you are about running. It's so, I mean, I don't really understand it, but I also like sprints. I don't like that long distance stuff. But what goes through your mind? Okay, so this is something that I don't really like about running. Like I like sprints because I get it over with, it's fast, but my mind just wanders so much. So what do you focus on? I guess like when you're practicing, what's your mindset versus what's your mindset like when you're racing?
So practicing, there's like easy days and hard days. So if I'm out on an easy run, I'll just be like talking with my friends, socializing, like we'll like talk as we run, whatever. But like if it's a workout, it depends. If it's like a shorter workout with like shorter repeats, I'll be more focused. But if it's like mile repeats, I'll kind of like zone out, think about what I need to do later, or just think about the most random stuff ever. But like so it just kind of depends. But races, if I'm focused, I'm usually like, I say if I'm focused, because there is some races, like the longer ones, or just sometimes when I'm not focused, and I'm just like thinking about random stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, why am I thinking about this now when I'm racing? Like, this is so weird. But races, I'm actually focused and competing and like really into the race. Like, I'll be like, oh, I need to, like if it's a steeple, I'm like, okay, I need to focus on this next barrier. I need to make sure my steps are good, or oh, I need to catch that girl, or like I need to really work hard on this lap or something like
Yeah.
that. You know, it's like all running related during the race, like if I'm focused. But if I'm not focused, it's like, what are you doing? Like sometimes I'm in the middle of the race, I'll be like, why are you thinking about this right now? Like you need to focus. But
yeah. Well, I like really understand where you're coming from that. Like I mentioned earlier with me, I used to do rowing. I did do just me, and it's kind of set up like track where in the fall it's like cross country, longer distances, and then in the spring it's like shorter distances, sprints. And when I was rowing by myself for the long distance cross country type, I was thinking about literally everything, and I'm like, why am I thinking about this now? I'm racing, but my mind just wanders. So I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
No, I think it also depends. Like, you're talking about how your mind wanders when it's longer, and that's kind of how it is for me. Like, the longer the race, the more I'm gonna be like unfocused, which. I mean, sometimes it's good though, like in a longer race to just zone out.
True.
Not necessarily think of random stuff, but just to zone out. That way the time passes faster. But like, but when you're not zoned out in a longer race, it's like you're looking at the lap count every lap, and you're like, geez, this is taking forever.
Yeah, I bet, but not really for you because you're fast, so it doesn't take forever.
Actually, it's still gonna take forever.
So do you listen? Are you one that likes to listen to music, or are you one to just likes to like not, like to socialize instead of listen to music?
So if we're out on easy run with people, like I've never listened to music on any of my runs unless it's like during a workout and they have it playing at the track. But I've like never once in my like how many years I've been running, I don't even know, since I was 8 ever listened to like music like with headphones. But
interesting.
I know, which is weird because most people are like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, I don't know, like I just like thinking or just like I don't know, just chilling. But like so I guess the only time is like when we're out on tracks doing workouts and they have music playing. But
I never knew that about you.
I know, it's kind of weird because like most people are really surprised, and like because a lot of people love listening to music and stuff, and I guess like when I'm out on a run, I just like to enjoy myself, enjoy the scenery, or just like think about things I need to do, or just think about whatever I want, and I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I bet you have encountered some of the most beautiful scenery. Where is your favorite place that you've ever raced or just even ran?
Yeah, there's, oh my goodness, there's so many.
Yeah.
I think like, oh man, I don't know. There's so many. You mean at Wichita State or like ever?
Honestly, anywhere. Like either where you travel for Wichita State or like where you like to go on your own.
Yeah. I think like one of my favorite like tracks I've ever raced at is the Haywood Field at Oregon. So I mean, they're remodeling that now. So Nationals wasn't there this year, and I was so sad. But but that I ran there in high school, I think. So that was really cool. But I don't know, whenever we go on vacations or whatever, I just love going out on like runs and exploring, seeing cool scenery, like I don't know, just wherever it is, like Colorado, Florida. I went for this run and saw alligators, so that was pretty cool.
I rode with places with alligators.
So
at
the same time I twisted my ankle like 10 times because I was like looking for alligators instead of like focusing on the train. But yeah, there's been a lot of cool places. So.
I love that. Well, before we conclude the interview, I will ask you some kind of fun rapid fire questions, and then we'll kind of tell everyone what you have planned for this year. It's going to be your senior year, so that's exciting. But first, let's get to know you just a little bit better without being an athlete. So this will be just like, tell me the first things that pop into your mind when I ask you these questions. They'll be random. Okay, so first one. I know you probably eat really healthy because you're an athlete and everything, but what is your favorite like cheat meal or like thing that you like?
Okay, so I actually don't really have cheat meals because I have like so many food allergies that I like have to eat like all like healthy stuff, I guess. But recently I found these like chips that are like, well, they're like healthy, like they're made of vegetables and like stuff, but they're like, if you tasted them, you wouldn't think they're healthy because they taste so good. And so I'm like addicted to those. So yesterday I ate like a whole bag and I was like, what are you doing? Like, you just stop. So I guess right now that's my cheat thing. So
yeah, that's awesome. And then let's see, if you were to have any superpower, what would you have?
to teleport because I hate traveling, and it'd be nice to just be like, hey, I'm going to Oregon, and be there in like 2 seconds.
I'm there. Yeah, that's a good one.
So definitely that one.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. Do you have any hidden talents or something that you would be like famous for if you could, get famous for something other than running and being a great athlete?
Probably not. I don't know. I don't know if I have any talents besides running, really. So,
What are your hobbies outside of running then?
I don't know, because I don't have a lot of free time. I do like photography though.
Photography,
I like taking pictures and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So I would say that. I don't know if it's like a hidden talent, but I really do enjoy it. So.
Would you be like one of those like National Geographic photographers that's like this close to the animal?
I don't know. I like taking pictures more like people, like scenery, but I mean animals are cool, so.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you don't listen to music when you run, what is your favorite song like that will get you so hyped or you can just sing every word to?
Oh, that's a good question, because it was like I'm so bad at like knowing the name of songs, so whenever one comes on the radio, I'm like, oh, I love this song. I don't know what it's called or anything, but I'm just like jamming out to it. But yeah, so I guess I don't really have like a name or a specific one, but there's definitely a few that I'm like, ooh, I like this one.
Yeah, that's my problem too. I'm like, I love music, but I don't know who sings this or what the song's actually called.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any movies that you can quote almost word for word?
No, I'm not good at
Really?
like...
Mine's Mean Girls, that's about
Really?
it. But anything else I do not know.
I don't think I've watched... See, I'm the type that does not like to rewatch movies, so I see them once and I'm like, okay, like...
Yeah, true.
Even if they're good, like, I don't know, maybe that's just me. It's just like, I don't know, it's just like, I like to see movies that I know what's... that I don't know what's coming. And like when I've already watched them, I'm like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know, it's just not as interesting to me, and plus I don't have a long attention span, so like if I'm rewatching, I'm like, yeah, I already know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I guess that's why I can't quote it, but
yeah, well, it makes sense. I'm the same way. Like, I'm not big into movies. Like, there's so many that I like haven't seen, and people are like, how have you not seen that?
Yeah,
like,
that's
I don't know.
totally
Like, don't get mad at me.
I hardly ever watch movies on
Yeah, same. Okay, and then to end on like a really positive note for these questions, what is the best piece of advice you've ever been given, whether it's with just life or with your career running? What is the best piece of advice?
Oh, that's a good question. Can I take a second to think?
Yeah,
okay.
go for it.
Sorry.
You're fine. I wouldn't know how to answer that question either, actually.
Yeah, I've been asked this before, and I don't think I ever answered it, actually. Let me just think. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Because
you're fine.
my coach has like a lot of good advice, and he's like really good with like the motivating thing. Like when I had low iron, and he like helped me through that. He's like, oh, you're gonna be fine, everything, and like, so he's really good at that, and he's given me like so many good like tips and like good advice and everything. I think just like trust God's plan, never give up, just like know that the right time's coming. So
oh, I love that. That's something everyone can relate to. And speaking of the right time is coming, it is going to be your senior year. That's very sad, but also so exciting because there's so much that like you're going to accomplish. So what are you most excited about for your senior year?
Oh, I think just like I really want to get healthy so I can really like feel strong and feel like myself again. But it's just like, it is really sad that it's my senior year, but I'm like, don't think about that. Just like go out there, enjoy it, have fun. Like I really like, I still have like goals. I want to get like being All-American in cross country. I've never done that. I want to qualify for indoor nationals, be All-American in that, because I've never done that either. So that's like a couple things, but yep, it's exciting.
We'll watch back on this interview like during winter break and we're like, see, you set that goal and you reached it. I believe in you. I think you're going to do so great, and I can't wait to follow your journey, and I'm sure there's a lot of fans out there that would like to follow your journey as well. So what is your main form of social media, and where can people find you?
Oh, Instagram. I love Instagram. I mean, I tweet sometimes, but it's nothing much. But Instagram is what I like to do. So
what's your ad name? Where can they find you?
It's just Rebekah Topham. So
yep.
REBEKAH, and then Topham is TOPHAM. So
perfect. Yep. Well, I'm so glad you came on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait for everyone to watch this because they always see how great of an athlete you are, but now they can see how great of a person you are too.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much for watching the show. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, funshell18, and don't forget to like Sports with Aliyah on Facebook and subscribe to the Sports with Aliyah YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.